Everyone, I'm Avia from Thesparkleicious and I'm here today to talk you through this makeup look. And this is a kind of very on-trend autumn-winter inspired look. This is kind of the look that we're going to be seeing on a lot of the kind of beauty magazines and in the catwalk shows, and it's a very kind of autumnal look, but I've tried to make it as wearable as possible because I know a lot of people can be really put off by a really bold lip. I've toned it down a little bit, I've warmed up the skin in the eyes, and I really love the end result. I think this is a really wearable look that will be flattering on lots of different skin tones and lots of different skin types as well. So I hope you enjoy the video and let's get to it. First thing I'm going to do is to use a little bit of bronzer to warm up my complexion, and this is really important, especially if you're doing a kind of bolder lip and especially if you're a little bit paler during the winter. I'm not at the moment because I've just got back from holiday, so I have got a bit of a tan, but normally during the cooler months and kind of autumn winter you will be a little bit paler, so bronzer is key. And this bronzer is really great because this actually has 3 different shades. So as you can see, you have the kind of more cool toned bronzer, which is great for contouring, then the kind of warm toned bronzer in the middle, and a more highlighty shade. I'm just going to use kind of a combination of all 3 on a big fluffy brush and just kind of do it in a 3 motion. So taking it kind of along the forehead, cheekbone, and on your jawline, just to give a little bit of colour and to just help create a little bit more shape to the face. So just kind of swirling it around. You can always take a little bit on your nose, and I always like to put a little bit under my chin as well. So that's it for bronzer. And then I'm going to move on to the eyes, and you don't want to do anything too dramatic with your eyes if you're going to have a really bold lip. But you do want to have a really nice kind of defined, slightly smoky eye because you can get away with that during the cooler months. I'm going to start by using this eyeshadow in Mist first, because this is just a kind of nice everyday kind of good base colour, and I'm going to just take a flat eyeshadow brush and run this along my lid. So just taking it all over the lid, I'm going to kind of do a nice wash of colour. You can kind of take it into the inner corner and just give a nice kind of lit effect all over the lid. So once that is laid in place, I'm going to go in with my crease colour. And the crease colour is a really lovely shade because it's not that kind of traditional, really matte shade that you would expect during the winter months. It's a slightly kind of warmer, prettier shade. And this is in Copper. And it's just, as the name would suggest, a kind of lovely mid coppery tone. It's not too shimmery. Got a little bit of kind of shimmer to it, but not anything really over dramatic. And I'm just going to take this into the crease of my eye. So kind of just taking it a little bit higher up than normal because that's the kind of shape I like for my eyes, but you can always just put it into your crease, kind of nestle it in the socket and do it that way. I like to take it up a little bit higher. And then just blend that out with a big fluffy brush to just kind of get that lovely gradient effect. And that is kind of the effect that I want. Then I'm going to use this product, and this is actually one of my favourites, and it's this big kind of chunky crayon, and this is in the shade, I think it's like bronze. Let me see, cinnamon, and it is that kind of gorgeous cinnamon kind of bronzy colour that's kind of really autumnal. And I'm just going to create a V on the outer part of my eye, so kind of going upwards, and then if you close your eye, just taking it along that part there, and you kind of create a little bit of a V, and then just use your finger to blend that upwards, and this just helps to create kind of a nice smoky effect, little bit of definition, warms everything up, and it just adds a kind of really pretty effect to the eye. So I'm going to just leave that like that. And then I'm going to use this eyeliner, and this is one of the duo chunky crayons, and I'm going to use the kind of darker bronzy shade just a little bit kind of under my lower lash line. These are a little bit hard, so I do find you need to warm them up a little bit on your hand first. And just a little bit under your eye to just create a little bit of a shade kind of underneath there. And then I'm going to use some of the liquid liner, and this is the felt tip eyeliner pen. This is just the black shade because I think that's always kind of a nice classic, and it's got a kind of really nice long nib. I'm going to come a little bit closer to show you. But I'm just going to do a kind of very fine line on the top of my lid and wing it out ever so slightly. Kind of just to where your lashes start to kind of spread out. And then just take that inwards to kind of connect it. And fill in any lash gaps you might have. I like a kind of slightly medium line in the winter. During the summer I would do a kind of thinner line. But just make sure you've got all those little eyelash gaps, because they look really horrible when you can see, but it does create a nice kind of flick to the eye. So that's the eyes completely finished, and I'm just going to add a little bit of mascara and then come back and show you the gorgeous cheeks and lips we're going to create. So for the cheeks, you can kind of just leave it bare because the lip is going to be quite strong, and that's a very pretty look as well, but I do think that it looks really pretty just have a little bit of a pop of colour, and using a cream blush is really lovely because it adds a healthy glow to the skin. And I'm going to use this one right here, which is in Coral Pop, and it's the cheek tint. It comes in this kind of really cute little packaging as well, which is really sweet. I'm just going to take a little bit on my hand because it's very kind of emollient. You don't really need a brush for this. And just dab a little bit on the apples of my cheeks, kind of on the high point of the apples. Just really blend that in so it just looks like you've kind of been on a walk or something and you're kind of flushing from within. You've got that lovely kind of autumnal flush from within, just a little bit like that, and I think that looks really pretty. And now on to the lips. So as I mentioned, you could do a kind of natural lip if that was what you wanted. The shade Flamingo is a really great shade for that. It's just kind of a natural pinky shade, but we're going to do something a little bit more daring today, and we are going to use the shade Fever, which is just this kind of gorgeous berry toned shade. Great autumnal colour. I know it looks a little bit scary, but I'm going to show you kind of a couple of different ways you can wear it. And I love the packaging of these lipsticks. They're magnetic, so you kind of just pop it on and it very satisfyingly clicks back into place. Now you could kind of go ahead and use the lip brush and do this really full on. I'm not going to do that. I like to kind of have more of a stain. I think it looks more natural and it's more of a pretty look and more of a wearable look. So if you just dab a little bit onto your lip, onto the centre mostly, and then really work it into the lips. As if it were kind of a lip balm. Then you can just go ahead and dab a little bit more. And that is the kind of finished lip. I think this is really nice if you want to kind of have a nice autumnal lip, but you're scared of wearing the really bright, deep lipsticks. This is a really lovely way of doing it. It looks very pretty and it's very wearable. So I hope you enjoyed this video. All the products from Envy Makeup will be listed down below in the description box, and don't forget to like the video, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Bye!